What's up, y'all? Thank y'all for joining me tonight for another episode of Deaths of the Asia, the You Can't Whoop Me edition. Tonight, we're going to do story time. I'm about to tell y'all what had happened to me. So I ended up making a post on Facebook, and I said, these folks asked me to be in a poly relationship. I said, okay. Then they tried to jump on me. Imagine domestic violence in a poly relationship. Two people whooping your ass. Y'all not ready for this conversation. So y'all go ahead, like this video, share this video, make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel because I'm finna get into what had happened that made me come up with this and the situation that I had to deal with, why I end up having to fight damn near a whole house full of people and ended up in a sewer. It was the craziest thing ever. So I'm gonna start from the very beginning of how all of this started to the very end. And it's gonna give y'all freaking ass something to think about. I know a lot of y'all be out here talking about y'all want to be in a poly relationship. Y'all out here having all these threesomes or whatever the case may be, and you think it's all sweet, but nobody ever talks about the drama that unfolds when you start intertwining these different relationships and everything. And especially if you're dealing in an arrangement where it's swinging and stuff involved, you got to be very careful. So here's what happened to me, y'all. Um, I had to be like 19, 20 years old. I think I was 20 because I had a couch in my house at that point because for a long time I ain't even have a damn piece of furniture. So I believe around this time I did at least have a couch to sit on. So I had to be about 20 years old, right? I had started this job at a telecommunication center and I met this woman that worked there, and she was about 34, 35 years old. She was from Tennessee as well. She was from Chattanooga, and I'm from Memphis, right? So we hit it off. So me and her, we started talking and everything, and I started to grow an interest in her, and I did start to come on to her and everything because I always been into older men, older women, or whatnot. So I started to come on to her, and she was game for it. Back then I'm 20 years old, all cute and fine, or whatever the case may be. Who gonna say no to me? So me and her, we talking, we messing around or whatever. So one day she invited me over to her house, y'all, and it was a whole bunch of people over there, and it was her sister, it was a whole group of her friends and everything. So we were just sitting around. I remember it was this one particular couple that was over there, and the woman in the relationship. I'm gonna use these people names because this gonna get real juicy in a minute, and y'all gonna have to remember who is who. I ain't gonna tell their real name. I'm just make up a name, okay? So the girl that I was talking to, we gonna say her name Kim. And so the people in a relationship that I noticed that was there, I'm gonna say her name is Sharon and his name is Jimmy. I hope I remember what names I don't use. Sharon and Jimmy. Somebody drop down in the comments and tell me these people names I'm trying to replace. Okay, so the people in the relationship, Sharon and Jimmy. I'm talking to Kim, right? These folks been friends for 13, 14 years. And everybody that's in the house either related or they've been friends for decades, right? So we all over there kicking it. Sharon, she got on all these clothes. She looking hot as hell. And I'm trying to figure out what is wrong with her because it wasn't cold outside. She got on hoodies, she got on khakis and everything. So I'm asking her, you all right? Is you hot? You know what I'm saying? Baby, what's going on? Is you running? What's going on? You're running a fever or something, trying to sweat it out. What's going on? So she said that she had been sick and she had been taking codeine and Tylenol or something the doctor had prescribed her. That's what we're going to call her, codeine. She had started taking the Tylenol and codeine that the doctor had prescribed her. That whole night, I was calling her codeine. So that's really the name that I was giving her. So if anybody that was there that night remembered it, they know who I'm talking about now. So we gonna call her codeine because that's what I was talking about. So I'm calling this lady codeine or whatever. So we just over there kicking it, having a good time. So this when shit started to really open up, right? So we sitting around there, we just kicking it. And all of a sudden they was like, y'all, let's ride to Dallas. So I'm like, okay, I don't know where we going. I'm just down for the ride. We all kicking it, drunk, fucked up, or whatever. Come on, let's go. We get to Dallas and we get to this place that it had said XXL video. I'm so young and dumb. I don't know what the hell going on. You know what I'm saying? I'm just following the lead. I'm walking through the door. I realize we're in a sex shop. Next thing you know, we walking down the aisle of dicks. I'm like, what the fuck is going on right now? Like, why are we at a sex shop? So I'm asking them, like, what the hell is going on? They was like, girl, calm down. They was like, it's a movie theater up top. I said, why the hell would a movie theater be on top of a sex shop? That makes absolutely no sense. And so we went upstairs, and as sure as shit stank, it's a movie theater. So I walked through there. I'm looking at the screen. It's porn. It's nothing but porn that is being played. And the people are having sex. It's people up against the wall, like doing whatever they doing, touching and feeling. It's just a whole big old orgy when you walk up in that thing. I'm like, oh my God. So I haven't ever been there. They didn't warn me of what's going on. So I'm walking through there, people grabbing my titties, grabbing my breasts. I'm going off. Get your motherfucking hands off me. Unhand me, freaking motherfucker. I don't know what the hell going on. Y'all need to get me the fuck up out of here. Get fired on, bitch. Unhand me, ho. Like, I'm just going off. You hear me? So next thing you know, the security come. He like, get your ass up out of here. So the security done grabbed me. And he done hauled me up out of there or whatever the case may be. So my friends, they running out talking about she's okay. We're sorry. We didn't tell her or whatever. She don't understand what's going on. I said, you goddamn right. I don't understand what's going on. Like, at this point, I'm shocked. I'm so shocked because I'm thinking, like, now, like, what y'all done brought me into, I'm feeling like they done set me up, because I don't know if this some type of secret hideout just for them or not. And, they got me around and they set me up. They finna sex traffic me or something like that. I don't know what the fuck is going on at this particular point. Honorine say, baby, you was in Lido's. Yes, I was at Lido's off 35 and Mockingbird or whatever. So I was definitely, it was called Lido's. I came to find out that was the name of it, because after I calmed down and realized what's going on, I kind of frequented a little bit more, what I'm saying? Quiet as it's kept. But I initially cut the food, when I first went there, because they didn't tell me. So here's the thing, right? So once we experience this and we get back in the car, I'm like, okay, I'm around. I didn't know this at first. I'm around a whole group of freaky motherfuckers. You get what I'm saying? So I'm like, damn. I didn't think no mind of it or whatever. Me and old girl, we still doing our thing solo or whatever. I'm not really thinking anything. I'm just like, these are a group of freak ass people. You get what I'm saying? So one particular night, Kim invited me to a party that was at one of her friends' house. And he was a DJ. Now, I did know that he was a swinger. And him and his wife had a in-house girlfriend, and then they'll be messing around and stuff like that, right? They'll swap wives and all this old kind of stuff. My auntie used to tell me to stay up out of Fort Worth, because this was in Fort Worth, Texas, right? So anyway, I'm still naive, young, dumb, don't know what the hell going on. So I get to the party. So when I get to the party, it's lit. He a real DJ. They got a dance floor up in there. It's just I'm talking about the strobe lights, all this whole kind of stuff. I'm like, oh, okay, that's what's up. Y'all, let me bag back for a second, because this is for this to make sense on why I did this. When I was with Kim after I had met her friend Codeine, Kim used to keep telling me about how Codeine used to be fat. And I didn't understand why she kept talking about the girl. I used to think that she was a hater. You get what I'm saying? Because I was like, I didn't even notice her that much. I said, she when I seen her, she had on the hoodie, the sick clothes, khaki pants, and all of that, or whatever the case may be. She looked like a goddamn construction worker to me. She's a pretty girl, but I wasn't looking at her shape or anything. I couldn't tell if she was big or small with all of the clothes on. But it was funny to me that Kim always talked about the girl, pillow talking. You get what I'm saying? So let's fast forward back to the party. So we gets into the party. All these strobe lights and everything going on. We listen to some old school music or whatever. We having a good time. Next thing you know, people started sitting on the couch or whatever in a little resting area. So we sitting on the couch. Next thing you know, this man walks up with a pail. He's hitting the pail, talking about, everybody put the pennies in the pail. Put your pennies in the pail. I was like, if this nigga don't go on with this motherfucking bucket, talking about we need to put our pennies in this pail, like what the hell? So now again, I'm shocked behind something. So I'm like, what is this man on? You get what I'm saying? So next thing you know, Kim, she put her panties in the pail. So I'm like, oh my God, her sister put her panties in the pail. Then next thing you know, another woman like everybody putting their panties in the pail. That's the move. I'm not putting my panties in no damn pail. So I'm just sitting up there like, nah. So they still kind of looking at me like, okay, you're lame or whatever. So I'm like, yeah, very much so. Because I don't know him. I don't know what y'all about to do. And I ain't never seen no shit like this. You get what I'm saying? We ain't played nail game or nothing where the rules were established. She ain't said this is strip poker or nothing like this. This nigga just came out here ringing the alarm, telling people to pull their pennies off and put them in a pail. So I'm like, oh, hell no. So in the midst of that, we're just sitting there or whatever. I don't know what's about to go down, but I'm waiting, trying to see what the hell is finna happen. You hear me? So next thing you know, in walks, what I say these people fake name was. In walks Jimmy and Codeine. So Jimmy and Codeine comes in. Codeine, she got on some sexy clothes or whatever. She got on this cute little corset. She got on this cute little skirt or whatever. She was looking real cute. I had never noticed her. But y'all remember, Kim kept bringing her up. And that's the thing too. People got to be careful. You constantly bring somebody up and mentioning somebody's name or whatever. They might start looking at them. You know what I'm saying? So in walks Codeine and Jimmy, right? So I'm like, oh, she all right. You know what I'm saying? And now since I noticed that all of these people obviously play around with each other, you know what I'm saying? We done went to a sex shop and everything. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna have me some fun. So I had a couple of drinks. She ended up having a couple of drinks. Everybody real toasted or whatever the case may be. And so Caroline said, this must have been the night that you lost your shoes. Yep, this wasn't the night that I lost my shoes. This is the night that's leading up into what happened, that I ended up losing my shoes in that sewer in Fort Worth. So this is what all the backstory. So anyway, where I was at. So anyway, everybody drunk. Everybody fucked up, right? So Codeine, she's standing up there and she leaning up against the wall or whatever. So I walks up behind her. She had on one of those like halter top corset type of things or whatever, you know. So I walk up behind her and I come up behind and I, do this and I put my hand down her corset or halter top, whatever you want to call that thing. And she was like, oh my God, she jumped or whatever. So I'm like, she was like, baby, she runs out or whatever. I'm like, oh my God, she calling her man. He finna whoop my ass. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, oh my God. So I need to gather my things and get the fuck up out of here. I'm like, didn't nobody do that to nobody else when they went to touching on each other. So I thought everything was cool. But now y'all ready to whoop my ass. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, oh my God, I'm out here. I done roll with these people. You know what I'm saying? I'm stuck. You get what I'm saying? I'm finna get a well whooped ass out here in the Fort Worth streets. So she runs and runs out there. Next thing you know, he coming in because the guys they was outside doing something. They had walked out to do something like that. He come in, he was like, "Come here, let me holler at you." So I'm like, "Oh my God!" He asked to come holler at me. Ain't nobody gonna walk out there with me or nothing. You know what I'm saying? Protect black women, nothing. Even the people that I came, the girl that I had came with or whatever, she just said her goofy ass there. She ain't do nothing. I'm just like, oh, okay, I'm all alone, right? So I went outside with him, and he hitting a blunt, looking at me. So I'm about to shit myself. You hear me? I'm like, okay, is this the last puff of this blunt that he gonna take before he reach back and pop my ass? You know what I'm saying? So he blowing the smoke. He talking about, you like my girl? I'm like, yo, girl, like who the fuck? Like this nigga from Mississippi, ain't it? You like my girl? I'm like, she cute or whatever, you know. And he was like, well, we've been watching you. So I'm like, okay, what that's supposed to mean? He was like, well, we both been watching you and been eyeballing you or whatever. I'm like, oh, okay. And he was like, we'd like for you to come around sometime just with us and all that kind of stuff or whatever. So now at this point, I know what that means. So I'm like, I gotta say okay, or else he probably gonna whoop my ass if I don't. You get what I'm saying? So I'm like, okay. So after that, me and them, we started hanging out or whatever. He'll come, we started hanging out, doing our little thing and all this all kind of stuff. And it was really fun. It was really dope. And the crazy thing is, what was messed up, this was real bogus because now I'm messing around with the girl that I was dealing with, her friends. She knew about it, but she wasn't actually pleased with it. The come to find out what it was is a lot of people in the group used to want to be able to mess with Codeine and Jimmy, but they wouldn't mess with nobody. So I think that the girl that I was talking to didn't have a problem that I was talking to them, because I guess it was one of those things where by me, she could come in and get the messing with them too or whatever. So she was pretty much like cool with it up until she wasn't cool with it anymore, because it did become a thing, because I did have a conversation with Codeine and Jimmy, and they were like, it's kind of messed up that you ain't really messing with her anymore or whatever. And so it was a time when we all did try to interact with each other, but uh Kim was acting real weird, and she, like, in the midst of it, she started spraying us with some shit from Victoria's Secret. It's like body milk or something like that. It's some thick ass spray. I don't know what it was. It was called body milk or whatever. So anyway, so that didn't work or whatever the case may be. So what ended up happening was I started to go ahead and cut Kim off, because things really did get serious with me and Codeine and Jimmy. Things really did start getting serious with us. So this is where the shit hit the fan, when it started getting to a point where a fight had ended up breaking out or whatever. So we ended up going to another party. So this time we over somebody else's house, and I'm gonna call this person BB. We're over to BB house in Fort Worth, Texas, right? And I had just got off work that day. It was on a Friday. I had cashed my check. All of my money is in my purse. Back then you ain't got no bank account for real or anything like that. You go cash your check at the gas station or the convenience store or whatever. So I done cashed my check, got all my money in my purse, got all my, my little cute little outfit on and everything like that. I ride over there with Jimmy and Codeine. So we get in the house. It's this nigga in a wheelchair. He was like, "Ooh, you the finest motherfucker that's walking up and through here." I don't care to get no compliment for no man in a wheelchair, but apparently the women was side-eyeing me, looking at me crazy, because they mad and jealous because I done got a compliment from a nigga in a wheelchair. And y'all know that man dick can't even get hard. And y'all worrying about him liking me. He pissing on himself. And you worrying about him complimenting me. But that's neither here nor there, whatever the case may be. So this is where all had went left. So I gets over there with Codeine and Kim. No, Codeine and Jimmy. Kim ended up being over there. I hadn't talked to Kim in a while at this point. So I see her. I walk up to her and I'm like, hey girl, I'm like, how you been doing? I hadn't talked to you in a while. You been all right? And she was like, I just didn't want to think about you and look at you like everybody and take in what everybody had to say you are. I'm like, what are you talking about? Everybody that know me know you. I said, so if anybody has something to say, it would have been somebody that's in this house. I said, so who said something, Kim? She was like, I ain't gonna say nothing. I was like, and what they say, because we all of us, a group of us, we always hanging out every weekend. We either at somebody's house or going out as a group or whatever. I'm like, what did they say? I ain't gonna say nothing. I said, you could tell me what they said. I said, don't be scared to tell me what they said or whatever, because can't no motherfucker in here whoop me. You know what I'm saying? So you could tell me what they said. Next thing you know, BB, who reminds you, is her house. We in the kitchen. We away from the people. I'm just talking to Kim. Here come BB. She never really liked me or whatever the case may be. And I really didn't like the fact that we were going over to her house. But it was cool. You know, one of them people that don't like you, but they be around you or whatever, and they try to act like they like you. She was like that. I didn't have no reason not to like her. She didn't have no reason not to like me. But you could feel that energy. So here come BB. BB come in the kitchen, and she was like, y'all bitches too loud. Y'all need to shut the fuck up. I said, hold on now. I said, listen, if you want us to be quiet, it's a way for you to say that. I said, we grown. You're not finna talk to us crazy or whatever the case may be. She gonna say, bitch, this is my motherfucking house. I popped the shit out of her as soon as she said it, because I gave you a chance to calm your ass down. So now I swung on her. She done hit the refrigerator. All the damn alphabets the kids done put up done slid across the floor or whatever. So next thing you know, everybody in the house stands up. Mind you, I'm the new girl, really. All these people, they've been friends with each other for decades. All right. I done roll over here with Codeine and Jimmy. So I can't just up and leave. Next thing you know, Codeine stands up and she goes, now you embarrassing me. So she jumps in my face instead of her asking me, what happened and all this old kind of stuff, or trying to see, because we were in the kitchen. Instead of her doing that, she jumps in my face talking about I'm embarrassing her, like she finna do something to me or whatever. So I tried to get my ass away from her or whatever the case may be, because I'm like, it ain't that, or whatever. I said, it's real crazy that you ain't even check on me or whatever. She cursing me out, bitch this and bitch that or whatever. So I'm like, damn, you know what I'm saying? We finna fight. And she part of the poly relationship, you know what I'm saying, that I'm in or whatever. We had all been talking about moving in together, getting a house and all this old kind of stuff. And it had never been like that. Now all of a sudden, bitch, you jumping in my face, getting ready to fucking fight. So now when I notice like what this is, and the whole house is kind of standing up, it felt like the next person I swing on, the rest of the house is going to jump on me. But now I'm ready to rumble in this hole because y'all got me fucked up. You know what I'm saying? But what I'm not going to do is be getting my ass whooped out, like it just be all open in the middle or whatever. I did learn, if you got a bunch of people trying to jump you, try and get your back up against the wall. You know what I'm saying? So everybody can hit you from different angles or whatever. My first mind told me to go outside. So once all this happened, I felt like Archie on the We Ready video. So I runs outside instead of running all the way outside and like, yeah, bitch, come on, bitch. Instead of doing all of that, I stood at the door because I'm gonna hit you at the door. You hear me? So they come, all of them coming out or whatever. So I'm standing at the door, and so I'm outside as they come, and I'm boop, 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 2 pieces in a biscuit. You know what I'm saying? So I'm laying bitches out at this point because now I done turned this y'all was finna jump me into a one-on-one fight. So y'all both gotta catch these hands individually. You know what I'm saying? So by this time, what ended up happening, the guys ended up going out the back door. I ain't noticed. I ain't thinking about this, right? So it's people now, they coming out. So the men, they going out the back door and all of this or whatever. The crazy ass women, they still right here. We fighting or whatever. In this basically like the hallway in the front door. Don't you know, Jimmy? He comes around and he grab. I don't know that the guys are out. He comes around and he grabs me. So I turn, I see him out. Boom! I popped him. He swung at me. You know what I'm saying? So now I'm dodging him or whatever. So now he grabbing me. So now it's like I can't take down this big ass man. You know what I'm saying? It ain't no, he got me all the way out here in the open or whatever the case may be. I'm out here. I done jumped on everybody that could get jumped on at this particular point because they tried to, you know what I'm saying, whoop my ass in the living room or whatever. Some type of way, Codeine, she done got out, but she done went to the truck, but she talking shit, and it was a can of beer or something that was like on the porch or whatever, and I got the can of beer. She down there by the truck. I get the can of beer and I just sling it at her ass or whatever, popped her with the beer, right? Next thing you know, all hell ends up breaking loose. So now, at this point, my attempts to turn this into a one-on-one fight ended up turning into mayhem. People coming out the back door every which way. Next thing I know, why I see my whole fucking purse fly over into a sewer that was on the side of the house. Y'all know them sewers that run under the ground? I see my purse fly into the damn sewer with all my goddamn money in there. So now at this point, I ain't even thinking about fighting these bitches no more. Because a lot of them, they done scattered and ran down the street. Some of them, the guys done grabbed them and pulled them on the side of the house or whatever the case may be. Other people just flying up and down the street, getting in their car and everything. Other people talking about call the police. At this point, I'm not understanding what the hell is going on. It ended up getting to a point where I was just like, it was just slow motion or whatever. And the only thing I could think of once they separated everybody, I was like, I need to get my fucking money. Because some bitch came up out the house with my purse and threw it in the damn sewer. So I'm like, oh my God. I end up over there by myself. I see my damn purse floating around in this sewer water. Now, here's the thing. I was just like, I got to get my purse. I slid down in the sewer. Nobody sees me. So I'm like, my dumb ass really slid down into this sewer. Didn't think about how I'm going to get out. So I'm really in the damn sewer. So I'm thinking about Ninja Turtles. Like, it's so much shit that went through my mind or whatever. I'm like, ain't nobody gonna come down here and save me. Ain't no sense of me screaming. Matter of fact, I don't want nobody to save me. Or, you know what I'm saying? It ain't no help for me. I ain't got nothing to call. So I'm like, I'm really in a sewer. So, you know, the sewers I have like a tunnel that'll run, it'll run under the street and over to the other side or whatever. So I'm actually looking down the tunnel and it looks like it's some land in front of it. But if you see trees from a distance, it look lower to the ground. So I'm actually thinking like, okay, only thing I got to do is just get to the other side of this tunnel, which is just across the street. It opens up across the street. I'm like, if I get to the other end of the tunnel, then hey, there go the land. Dumb as hell, right? I get to the other end of the tunnel. There's no land. It's just the rest of the tunnel that probably runs all the way down to the Great Mississippi. This bitch probably spill off into the Gulf of Mexico. I don't know. But I'm like, it ain't no end to this. And how in the hell I'm finna get out? Now I'm on the other end of the street. So I'm like, damn. Just so happens, it's some sticker bush growing on the edge of the tunnel. It's some sticker bush going, because you know the tunnel, the tunnel, it come down like this here. You know what I'm saying? So it's coming down as an angle. So I'm like, how in the hell I'm gonna get out of here? And just so happens it ain't nothing to reach, it ain't nothing to grab on to get out. And it's these sticker bushes, right? Man, so I'm thinking, hey, I can do this. You know what I'm saying? I done whooped a couple of bitches tonight and everything. I know I could grab these, these sticker bushes and get up out of here. These sticker bushes can't defeat me if these dry bitches who tried to fight me couldn't. So here am I, dumb, and I grabbed the sticker bush. I'm like, oh my God. I slid on the sewer, scratched my face up or whatever. I'm like, oh my God, I gotta get out of here. I had done threw my purse up top. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, I gotta get out of here. I gotta get out of here. My feet wet, all that kind of stuff. I ain't got my shoes and nothing like that. That's what Caroline was saying. Well, that's the night you lost your shoes. Yes, this is the night that I lost my shoes. So I ain't got no shoes on enough, because when I ran up out the house, I ain't even have my shoes on when I was out there fighting them or whatever. So I grabbed the sticker bush again. I'm like, just sucking it in. I get out the tunnel. So now I get out the tunnel. I'm mad as a motherfucker. You heard me? So now I'm running back down the street. Yeah, ho, where y'all bitches at? So now I'm ready to fight some more, right? So next thing you know, this dude pull up. He jump in the car. They called the police or whatever. I don't know what's going on, because I'm out here on some X Factor type, survivor type shit. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what's going on above ground. You hear me? I'm out here trying to get in this sewer. You know what I'm saying? So now I'm powered up again. So he I don't even know who this dude is, but he said they called the police or whatever. So baby, it looked like you got my best interest in mind. So I jumps in the car with him, but my adrenaline is so high, I swung on him. So I get in the car, and next thing you know, I'm boop, I swung on him, right? But he grabbed my hand and he was like, you ain't finna whoop my ass. Y'all, I'm sorry, hold on, because I'm still a little under the weather. This man grabbed my hand and he go, you ain't finna whoop my ass. And I was just snapped back into reality. He said, look at you, you bleeding and you acting like that. You too damn cute and sexy to be acting like that. Calm the fuck down. So I'm like, first of all, who are you? So now I'm trying to yank my hand and pop your ass again. So I'm like, who the fuck? First of all. So now I look down, I'm bleeding bad as hell. I still got you could see some of the cut across my big toe. It done healed now though. I still got like the marking across my big toe. Apparently when I was coming out the sewer, whatever, I guess I cut myself. So it's blood. I'm bleeding all over this man's car, whatever. So I'm like, at this point, he was like, why I need to take you? Why I need to take you or whatever. I said, so I'm trying to think. I said, hurry up and take me to XYZ. I said, because my car is over there parked at these people's house. And I don't see their car out here anymore. I said, so I don't want them to get to their house and get to my car and do something to my car. So take me. So I gather myself, to tell him where to take me. So first I had told him to stop me at the gas station. At that point, I used to be smoking Black and Mountain. I said, I need me a black or whatever. I done been through some things, So he stopped me at the gas station. I had went and got my car or whatever. So after then, some time had went past, and I felt so bad. I was crying. I felt horrible that, these people that I had been, it's a whole lot more to this, but I ain't gonna go into it or whatever, because I ain't finna let y'all talk me to death, because I am under the weather. So anyway, it was so messed up that I was dealing with these people, and their first response was to attack me. whether I was wrong, right, or indifferent by knocking the hell out that girl in her kitchen. I know I was at her house, but just because I'm at your house don't mean you get to talk to me crazy, bitch. I don't let people talk to me crazy. She didn't have to talk to me crazy. You don't get, I don't know who told anybody that when somebody is at your house, that affords you the right to talk crazy to them or whatever. So I may have been wrong for popping the shit out of her, but I feel assaulted by her talking to me crazy or whatever the case may be. But the thing is at the end of the day, it was no reason for the people that I was in a relationship to jump in my face and try and fight me as well. For anything, just, check to see, if I'm okay, what actually happened, because you wasn't in there when all of that happened. And that situation made me think about how people be in these poly relationships and they think everything's sweet. But what do you do in a situation where it does get to like physical abuse? What if you are in a situation where, you decide that you want to join somebody's union that they already have, and you don't know what type of people they actually, you don't know, what if they deal with abuse or anything like that, because a lot of times they hide things. You don't know. So you have to take in account that it is possible for you to get in a poly relationship and you could end up being physically abused. And then what do you do when it's two people whooping your ass? That's something people need to think about. I don't think people taking into account all of the stuff that could happen, because really and truly, just so I could get to my point, a lot of things I left out because it wasn't necessary. But throughout the duration of me dealing with Kim, me dealing with Codeine and Jimmy or whatever, it was so much stuff, so much drama that had actually transpired. And I probably leave that for a whole nother conversation, because that's a whole nother story time in itself about some other things that that transpired, in the midst of all of this stuff that had took place. Because after the fight, there was a part where in our lives where me and Jimmy ended up becoming like really close and dealing with, not we wasn't sleeping with each other, but we was dealing with each other outside of um Codeine, and she didn't know about it. You know what I'm saying? And it was just because of how a whole lot of different things transfolded or whatever. But that's neither here nor there. um I probably get into more of that type of thing, the dynamics or whatever, at a later video. But I definitely appreciate y'all for tuning in with me tonight for another episode of Deaths of the Age of You Can't Whoop Me Storytime Edition. I'm gonna start doing more of these stories or whatever. I had decided it's a whole bunch of crazy shit that be going on in my life or have went on in my life that I think you people will get a kick out of hearing about it. So I don't have a problem with sharing it. If there's anything that you guys would like to have my thoughts or opinions on or whatever, make sure you message me, deathsoftheasia@gmail.com. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. I'm about to tune out. Y'all have a good one.
I hope you black men were paying attention. I hope you black men were paying attention.